Here we are in the QBO gym, and this is where we have numerous hands-on exercises that simulate real-life scenarios that you may encounter as a bookkeeper. Each month covers a variety of new topics and scenarios, and to make it a little bit easier for you, we break it down into 4 different sections. So if you are looking to work on your bookkeeping skills, this is the place for you. And if you want to do an entire month's worth of these all on your own, be sure to join our free 5-day bookkeeping challenge. All you need to do is click on the link in the description. But let's dive into today's exercise, which is coming from our September Year 1 cardio section. At the top here is an animated video to give you a synopsis of what is going on in Craig's world this month. He is our fictitious business owner. Further down is an interactive pre-assessment quiz that relates to the video up above. Below that are the exercises in this section. And at the bottom here is an optional area where after you have gone through all of the exercises in this section and completed them, you will unlock some sample marketing posts that you can use on your LinkedIn to share with everyone what you have learned so far. So let's get into today's exercise where we are going to practice writing off an invoice. Go ahead and click on that to have the exercise come up for you. I have it here on the right side of my screen, so let's read through the scenario. Shara Barnett has declared bankruptcy, so Craig asks you to write off the open invoice for Barnett Design. Now, you will need to be in the sample company to do this exercise. If you are not sure how to get into the sample company or get your own free QBOA account, be sure to click on the link in the description. I have the sample company pulled up here on the left side of my screen. Once you sign in, this is what it will look like. This is the dashboard. So let's go ahead and get started with this exercise. Start by looking at open invoices in the Barnett Design customer account to see how many there are and how much money is involved. So to get there from the left navigation bar, we're going to hover over customers and leads and then select customers. Now the left navigation bar is this black bar right here. Customers and leads is about halfway down, so hover over that and then select customers. Now, Barnett Design is a sub-account of Shara Barnett. So if I scroll down, here we go. Here is Shara Barnett and then Barnett Design. Like you saw with the corporate credit cards in a previous exercise in the cardio section, the amount for Shara reflects the total of her sub-accounts. So what is here is rolling up from her sub-accounts. In this case, it happens to be the same, so we only need to look at Barnett Design. So go ahead and click on Barnett Design so that we can open it up. And once you do, this is what will appear. It is this information for Barnett Design. I am going to actually collapse this right here. It's 3 lines and an arrow. Just because it'll make it easier for me to see the entire screen. So if you have that and you want to do that, go ahead. And if you happen to have any pop-ups that show up, just go ahead and click out of them. QBO likes to give informational pop-ups from time to time about the area that you are in, but we don't need them. So if you happen to get any, just go ahead and click out of them. Now, if we look here, we can see that there is only one open invoice and it is for $274.50. So that is what needs to be written off. Now, there are multiple ways to write off an invoice. The easiest way is to use the write-off tool. This tool works best for writing off invoices in the current period or if your client's accounting method is cash basis, because it won't change prior years' cash basis reports. This method simply writes off the balances as of the original invoice date and removes accounts receivable balances. When a company's accounting method is accrual, however, it's advisable to use the credit memo method. You probably already know what Craig's company uses as his bookkeeper, but let's just go ahead and double check anyways. So to do that, you're going to click on the gear icon and then select Account and Settings. So the gear icon on the top right corner, click on that, and then under your company, select Account and Settings. And once you do, here we go, you're going to click on this Advanced tab. So go ahead and click on that. If you get this pop-up, it's think it's just a glitch in the sample company because I see it here. I don't see it on client books. So if you get this pop-up, just go ahead and click on the green OK button. I'm not sure why it does it other than just thinking that it might be a glitch. So if we notice in this accounting section, there is a line called accounting method, and we can see here that Craig uses accrual. So now that we know that, we know that we need to use the credit memo method. So let's get out of this by clicking on the X on the top right corner. And instead of just removing the amount from the accounts receivable, you are going to use, as I mentioned, the credit memo method. With this method, you will use a bad debt account to track how much was non-collectible. Craig doesn't currently have this account, so you'll need to add it. So to do that, we're going to go to the left navigation bar, hover over transactions, and then click on chart of accounts. So if we scroll over, or we look over here on the left navigation bar, here is transactions, hover over that, and then select chart of accounts. We're going to create that new bad debt account. So let's click on the green new button, which is right here, and you'll get this pop out. Now, as a huge note here, the sample company changes the new account form from time to time. So your screen may look like this, or it may look a little bit different than what you're seeing right here. If that's the case, you would want to use this bulleted list to fill out each of the correct fields. If your form does not look like this, if it looks like the old version, I don't know why the sample company does that. Sometimes it's this and sometimes it's the old one. But if you happen to look at the old one as you were doing this, just take a look at this bulleted list and it will show you how to fill out the entire form. But I have the new account, new form. So we're going to fill this one out. In the account name field, we're going to type bad debt. So click into it and then go ahead and type that. In the account type field, we're going to select expenses. So click the down arrow, scroll towards the bottom. It's the second to last one that's listed here. Go ahead and click on that. And then in the detail type field, we want to select bad debts. So click the down arrow and then go ahead and select bad debts. We're going to leave everything else as is. And now we can just go ahead and click on the green save button. So go ahead and click on that. And now that account has been added here. Now you also need to set up a product service that will link to the bad debt expense account. So to get to that product services list, we need to click on the gear icon and then select products and services. So go ahead and click on that gear icon and then under list, select products and services. And this is the list that you will come to. We're going to create that new one. So let's go ahead and click on that green new button. And this is non-inventory, so go ahead and click on that. And then let's go ahead and fill this out. So in the name field, we're going to type non-collectible. So go ahead and click into that and type that. Non-collectible. Did I spell that correctly? Yes, okay. Then in the income account field, we want to select bad debt. So the income account field is right here. So click on the down arrow and then you want to scroll down a little bit. Now I'm not seeing, it should be right here in the expenses. Sometimes it takes a moment for things to show up. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to exit out of this and I'm going to refresh my page. You may have to do the exact same thing if you don't see that coming up for you. And now I'm going to start all over. So here we go, clicking on new. And again, I think this non-inventory, I think this might be just a glitch in the sample company because again, I don't experience this in real life. So I just think that that may be the reason why. So anyways, let's go ahead and try it again. And we're going to type non-collectible. And now in the income account field, we want to select bad debt. So click the down arrow and there it is. You can see that bad debt is now showing. So go ahead and click on that. We're not going to fill out anything else on this form. So go ahead and click on the green save and close button. And now that inventory or non-inventory item has been created. You can see if you scroll down, you can see it down here. Now, before writing off the debt, let's take a quick look at the accounts receivable report. So to get to the reporting center on the left navigation bar, we're going to click on reports. It's about halfway down, a little further than that. Go ahead and click on it once you find it. And then we are going to click on accounts receivable aging summary. That is in the who owes you section. So we have your favorites, our business overview, and then who owes you. We have this accounts receivable aging summary. It looks like it's also a favorite. So if I went back up to the top here, it's showing up right here. So either way, go ahead and click on it. And once you do, you will see this report is showing you who owes Craig money and when it is due. It is a summary of all the open invoices organized by when they are due. So you can see the total amount that Shara Barnett owes, and that is due in the next 30 days. So if we take a quicker look here, we could see Shara Barnett Design is showing up here. This is the amount, and you can see it's in this column that says 1 to 30 days. So within the next 30 days is when this is due. You can examine this same report after the write-off to see how it changes. So just keep that in mind, how it looks right now, and we will see how it changes once we create that credit memo. So let's go ahead and create it. We're going to click on the plus new button and then click on credit memo. So the plus new button on the top left corner, click on that. And then under customers, select credit memo. In the customer field, we're going to select Barnett Design. So go ahead and click into it. You can scroll or you can type. Either way is fine. Go ahead and click on it once you find it. In the product service field, we're going to select that new product service that we just created, that non-collectible. So click into that, and then you can either scroll or you can do what I'm doing and start typing it in. Once you find it, go ahead and click on it. And the amount that was there was for $274.50. That was the total of that open invoice. So let's go ahead and type that in the amount field. And this amount should be the total amount that we're writing off. If there were multiple invoices, you would want to add the amount due for each invoice together to come up with the total amount. But since there's only the one, that's right there, that's the amount that we are going to be putting in here. We want to deselect the tax checkbox since it's not taxable. And then we're going to just click on Save and Close. So that is the click the down arrow here and then select Save and Close. And now that credit memo has been saved. And we are still here on the report, which should automatically have updated once we clicked on Save and Close on that credit memo. So if I scroll back down here, you will see that there is no longer an invoice appearing on this report for Shara. The money she owes Craig has been zeroed out. In addition, you can see in the 1 to 30 day column that the total amount of money owed to Craig in the next 30 days was reduced from $1,128.50 to $854, which is that difference of $274.50, which was the amount of Barnett Design invoice. Also, take a look at how the Barnett Design account was impacted by the credit memo. So let's go back to their customer account so that we can see this. From the left navigation bar, hover over customers and leads and then select customers. So the left navigation bar halfway down is customers and leads. Hover over that and then select customers. And if we scroll to the Shara Barnett, if we scroll down, let me just scroll down first. If we scroll down, we will notice how the account balance is now showing as 0. So let's take a look at the actual invoice. Let's click on Barnett Designs. Go ahead and click on that. And if I scroll down, you will see that the invoice for $274.50 is showing as paid here. QBO automatically applies the credit memo to the open invoice by using a payment transaction. The the balance on the account is now $0. So this is useful. Now you and Craig will not have to keep trying to collect money for an invoice that is not collectible. The invoice won't show up in any overdue invoice reporting. So you can see there is no open balance. You can see that it has been paid for. Here is that credit memo, the invoice, credit memo that has made that payment. Now, finally here, it's unlikely you'll be using the Barnett Design account anytime soon, so if you don't wish to see it when you are doing your normal work, you can just make it inactive. This process is reversible should you decide later you need the account. In the case of bankruptcy, though, it's unlikely you will. So if we go back here to the top, you will see here this edit button. Click on the down arrow next to it, and then go ahead and click on Make Inactive. You're going to get this warning here asking if you want to make it inactive, and the answer is yes. So go ahead and click on Yes, Make Inactive. And you will see now that the account is showing as deleted. Now the account can always be can be reactivated by clicking on this. The account may be reactivated now or in the future if you change your mind. So the way you would do that is just clicking on here. If we go back to that customer list, though, go ahead and click on that. And we will see how it changes the list here. If you scroll down to where Shara Barnett is, you will notice that Barnett Design is no longer listed as a customer. Notice that Shara Barnett is still displaying. You can also deactivate this account if you no longer anticipate any purchases for her. And if you ever are going through here and you're like, I think there was an account by this person, but I don't know where it is, you can change the settings here by clicking on this small gear icon. And then if you scroll down, you can click on this box that says Include Inactive. So if you click on that, it will update the list automatically. So if I scroll back down, you can see now it says Barnett Design deleted. So now we're able to see that account. We can easily make it active again if that's the case. But that just is a little trick that if you're looking for something that you thought was deleted, you're not sure, just make sure that it is included on that list by clicking on that small gear icon and then clicking on the checkbox next to Include Inactive. But that is it. That is how you would write off an invoice and make an account inactive. Now, if you like this exercise and you'd like to do more like it, be sure to join our free 5-day bookkeeping challenge. All you need to do is click on the link in the description. We're going to continue on in the cardio section with our next exercise where we practice setting up and invoicing delayed charges. And I will see